Leah says, whoever called Coburn a lamppost first is spot on. The thought of spending more than 250k on him is sending me west. Welcome back to where Lions walk. It is a very angry episode given that Wrexham game. Fans in disbelief. Why are we so disjointed? We're talking about being toothless up top, and some fans have commented that the Den isn't intimidating anymore. We'll get Charlie and Callum's view on that in a second. We've also got two big derbies coming up as we head across to Charlton, and wouldn't you know it, in the draw, Crystal Palace are back and the Lions fixtures. We're also talking about the third kit, if we can bring ourselves to talk about that. What do we think of it? For me, it doesn't look very Millwall, but we'll get Charlie's view on all that in a second. Thank you for joining us. It is, of course, 20 minutes of Millwall chat, and we are looking back on that Wrexham game and just what has been a wretched start at the Den, Charlie. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, our home form this season has been like, especially compared to how we finished off last season. The club put out a tweet before the game actually on Saturday about how we were like 5 wins and 7, I think it was, or something like that at home. And it sort of got you up to it. And they showed the wins, and it was the last 5 games of last year, and then the Coventry game, and it's sort of like, yeah, there's something weird, guy. There's a bit of the sellouts are throwing people off, because it seems whenever we sell out, we seem to put on a really bad performance. Yeah. Almost like the pressure gets to the players.
This is it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just another lackluster performance, really. Players seemed like they weren't putting in full effort. Again, I think as soon as one goal went in, heads dropped, and it was another result that I think flattered the opposition team, similar to the Middlesbrough game where it wasn't a 3-0 game. We shouldn't have lost 2-0 on Saturday. It shouldn't have ended like that.
Cheers, Charlie. Let's bring Callum in as well and get his view on all of this. There you are, Callum. Yeah, shocker of result. I had you in my homes as well. I had you in my accumulator. You let me down, you. Yeah. People aren't happy, Callum.
Mate, I was that confident I had Mill win my own ACCA, so I wouldn't worry about that. But yeah, no, I was disappointed. It was a really bad performance, I thought, personally. I think we lacked that quality up front. We controlled the game in aspects of the game, but we just didn't have that killer instinct in front of goal. We're just missing something in the team. I think there's a lack of fluidity about our team at the minute that I'm not really liking. So I think something needs to change quickly over the next 1 or 2 weeks that we've got off of international break. But yeah, it's difficult, Mark. I don't really know. I can't really put my finger on it at the moment. The 2 home games that we've played have been quite bad, to say the least. I mean, 2 home losses, conceding 5 goals in both, which is not really a typical Millwall at home, really. So yeah, shocking.
No, not at all. Yeah, we've just recording this just as a transfer window is just shut. Charlie, there is good news. The club have just announced.
Yeah, we've just announced 2 signings after the window's closed. We've announced Ballo, who's a winger from Austria, I think he is. I think we all sort of knew that was happening over the last couple of days. It was out, and then out of nowhere, we've managed to pull Will Smallbone in on loan from Southampton. So I think he's a very good Championship midfielder. He's got quite a bit of experience behind him now. I think he'll be quite a good signing for us, hopefully, if he can stay fit.
Yeah, okay. Bill, we'll, of course, review the whole transfer window when we see you again. Johnny says, are you going to make some kind of statement about our ridiculous injury list? 3 of the starting midfielders that played against Norwich appear now to have long-term injuries. This is going on for far too long. Just what is happening during training? Our goalkeeper's out for a year. Other people pointed out this, Charlie, that the bench doesn't look strong. The injury list is growing and we're only 3 games into the season. Can you explain the mystery of what's going on in the medical room?
I think it's just typical Millwall. Really, I think for the last 4 or 5, even longer back, everyone's always said, like, what are we doing on the training pitch? Like, is it WWE on a Wednesday afternoon? Because for so long, there's players who are always putting up with a hamstring or a groin or a calf, and it just gets to the point where you do wonder what are the sports science team doing, what are medics doing, like, because something must be going wrong for this many injuries to happen. And it's not just I mean, we do have a history of signing a few injury-prone players, but there's also players who have played 40 game seasons the season before and then coming to us and they're injured within 3 games, and it's sort of like there must be something going wrong. Is it the intensity that we play, or is it something we're doing off the pitch? Are they not getting enough rest? It's really weird scenario, and I mean our injury list at the moment is a bit of a joke. Really, it's like players like Alfie Doughty being out so early into coming into the team. It sort of puts a damper on our transfer window because he's a great signing, but having him out so soon, it really brings us down. And I think there has to be something looked into what we're doing, because there must be something wrong with the amount of injuries we have and how often it happens.
Okay. Callum, most of the anger was directed towards the two lads up top. Rob says tactics didn't work in the Wrexham game. 2 big lads up top is making our play slow and very predictable. Also, Negley is a 10. He's not a winger. Do you agree with both those points there? That style of play up to the top isn't working.
I agree. Yeah, I think from watching Saturday's performance, I think Negley's a 10. He's an attacking midfielder. He's not a winger. I think what you've got with the playing style that we have at the moment, if you watch the game back and I watch it from the stands, is Negley's always cutting in from the right. He's always coming inside and leaving a massive space out on the right-hand side for either our right back, which was Leonard on Saturday, to bomb forward. Now, Ryan Leonard will not. That's not his role. He cannot go up and down for 90 minutes as an attacking right back. Leonard's fairly old. He hasn't really. He's got an engine on him, but he's not an attacking fullback. He's more a defensive fullback. So I think Negley coming in on in field a little bit will cause. It's causing us problems at the moment. We're not really finding enough spark because he's just doing the same thing all the time. So I think we needed that attacking fullback this transfer window if that was to work. I think Kramer can do that, but we needed the right back. Obviously, we haven't got one now, which is frustrating because that's probably the area that I think we needed the most out of everything. But again, I just think that the 2 lads up top, I mean, Ivanovic and Coburn, I mean, we spoke about Coburn last week, didn't we? And obviously I said that he had a half decent start, but I've changed my mind overnight very, very quickly. I think he's, for £5 million, he's not been doing enough for me. I mean, Saturday he had a glorious opportunity in the second half and he's literally put it fairly wide with his left foot. I mean, he's just got no composure. He gets bodied off the ball too easily. He's quite weak up front. And Ivanovic, I mean, we've been talking about him loads. We've been singing his praises, but he didn't really show a lot on Saturday either, to be fair. And that's what you're looking at, £15 million between the two of them. So £15 million, sorry, I should say, not £15. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it? But yeah, I just think something's not right at the minute. I just think it's not clicking with the team at the moment, which is very, very, very worrying.
Yeah, and to pop in on that, with the Ivanovic, I actually think, I mean, I rate Ivanovic much more highly than I do Coburn, but on Saturday, I think his performance was actually worse than Coburn's. And Coburn had a bad game. And I think it came out after the game. I think Alex Neward said something about how he is a bit distracted at the moment, which, I mean, now that the transfer window is closed, hopefully we can get rid of that and get him back up to pace. Because, I mean, beginning of last season, obviously, when Neil Harris went starting him, they talked about how he was homesick and distracted. And then once the season got going, he got into his rhythm and he finally got his game time. So hopefully it's a case of just getting him back into that rhythm now that there's no talk going on in the background about price tags and other clubs sniffing around him, and he can get back onto that. And I think for me now as well, Coburn's missed too many chances. There's been I think almost every game this season he's had a chance in the 6-yard box he should be putting away, and he's missing them every time. It's just not good enough. So I think really we should be dropping Coburn and looking to put Negley in that 10, because I think he's more of a valuable player to have in that area than Coburn is by miles.
We'll leave the Wrexham game aside there then. Yeah, I'll never bet on Millwall again. I'm sorry, I can blame it.
Never do,
on
Mark.
me. Yeah.
No, I never do. It's my one rule.
Yeah. I just thought you're really strong at home, and I put the Middlesbrough game off to one side. But anyway, okay, we go again then, and of course we're going again at Charlton. We'll talk about that game in a second. Before we move on from the Den, there's been a couple of growing comments about the intimidation factor at the new den from a couple of fans. Here's a couple of tweets I want to get your opinions on. Henry says, we're 1-0 down today and we clapped off their goalie after he hurt his elbow. Unfortunately, the club have got what they now wanted. Come in, sit down, shut up, don't say any naughty words, buy a shirt and don't come back. A sold-out den used to be an automatic 3 points. This is largely depressing. Jamie says, it's so sad. The den used to be a hard place to come to. Now it's one of the easiest, and something super dodgy behind the scenes with injuries. We're not quite getting it right. Callum, they got a point there? Are we becoming a prawn sandwich brigade? Are we becoming Tourism FC?
I don't think so. I think with the number of foreign players that we're now getting, I think we're getting a number of foreign fans coming over to the den, which is always a positive for income on a match day for the club, which is probably a positive thing. But I think with the atmosphere, I think if the team don't put out a performance on a Saturday, then the atmosphere is not really going to be... The fans can take so much. So if we don't, like Saturday, for example, against Wrexham, we didn't put out a performance. It was a bit, the fans were getting restless. I mean, I was getting restless at some points, hearing groans and stuff like that. So if the players don't put out a performance on a Saturday, Mark, then you're not going to really be getting an electrifying atmosphere, and it's as simple as that. So I think that's got to be down to the players putting in the performance to get the crowd on side. I think the 2 home games we've had so far, we've played well, but we haven't had that spark within our home games where the fans have, backed the team, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's worrying, but we've got to put that right after the international break.
Okay. Millwall don't clap off goalies though, Charlie, when they've held the rope.
Definitely not. I wasn't clapping. But yeah, there is a big change to the atmosphere at the den. I think I do think it is heavily tourism based. I mean, we are the team that's closest to central London, so we do get a lot of people coming in, and I've seen it firsthand at the Middlesbrough game. I was sat in the Coburn lane, and when Middlesbrough scored their 3rd goal, there was a young woman sitting in front of me clapping and cheering, and she got a few dodgy looks. But yeah, there's I don't think it's just that. I think the ticket prices, stuff like that, it does make it attractive to people who come for a day out as opposed to the hardcore Millwall fan. I like on a November chilly night on a Tuesday, there'll be a better atmosphere than as it's sold out on a Saturday, because it's just that more hostile environment. And it's a shame really, because I think it also depends on the opposition. Like teams like Wrexham, I think there's a lot of people who ain't going to turn out and like put up an atmosphere. Whereas it's like if we did have Charlton or Crystal Palace or someone like that, then the atmosphere is going to be 10 times better. But there's work to be done, as Callum said, on the pitch. Has to reiterate.
All right. Well, that segues nicely into talking about Charlton. Let's talk about Palace first, though. I mean, are you happy with that? I mean, away from home again, isn't not again? Yeah, Again, let's hope the Daily Mail a little bit kinder to your club this time, shall we? Let's not forget the scandalous crap they wrote last time. Something to look forward to, or something you could have done without, Callum?
I don't know. I mean, when the draw happened, I was watching. I was thinking I wanted one of the European teams, but I mean, Palace away. I mean, it's not a bad draw. Don't get me wrong, but I would have preferred a Man City or a Man United of this. Not Man United because they got knocked out, or a Chelsea or something like someone like that. But again, it's just a Palace away. I would have loved them at home, or I'd have loved Tottenham at home or something like that. But yeah, I mean, Palace again. We had it last year in the FA Cup, so I guess it's round number 2 this season again. But I mean, they've lost Eze this window. Guay nearly left in the transfer market, so I think we'll have to wait and see. It would be really good to get one over him again from last season, but I'm hoping that we can win and get into the next rounds.
Okay. I saw a tweet that said, get Liam Roberts back for one game, please.
Yeah, I think every Mill fan you ask is probably saying exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be two South London derbies in the same week as well,
yeah,
which,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if it goes one way, it will be great. But if it goes the other, I think maybe we'll have to end the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. We need some new Millwall fans. In fact, if you are a Millwall fan and fancy doing this, do come on and yeah, give us your thoughts. Right then, Charlton, Charlie. Let's talk about the dislike of Charlton. Obviously, it'll always be West Ham up there first, won't it? For Millwall fans, are Charlton a close second?
Nah, I don't think so. I think the Charlton rivalry is more. I think you'll find more Charlton fans that hate Millwall than Mill fans that hate Charlton. But we don't like Charlton. We don't really like anyone. But I think like they're close to us, so it makes it a bigger derby and a bigger day out. But yeah, I mean, the hatred for Charlton isn't the same as it is for West Ham. Same as the Palace rivalry. It's not the same as the West Ham hatred we have. But yeah, I mean, Charlton just never they just can't beat us. So it's like nice little 3 points every now and then.
Yeah, yeah, your record against them is big. I mean, obviously we've spoken to them already, Callum. They are looking forward to this one. In fact, when one of them said it was their first fixture they looked for when it was announced in June, when were Millwall coming to the Valley. Yeah, what's your take on this rivalry?
Yeah, I love the Charlton games. I think they're unbelievable. I think we always love a win against Charlton, especially when they come into the Championship. I mean, I've had some good times going to Charlton away to the Valley. It's just very good away days. Even when they come to the Den, it's brilliant games. Obviously, one of the games was Matt Smith scoring that late header at home when we won 2-1 under Gary Rowett many years ago. I think it was like about 4 or 5 years ago now, but that was probably one of my highlights.
Even longer before lockdown, so like 6, isn't it?
Yeah, and the lockdown game as well when Jake Cooper scored as well. So there's a few memorable moments against Charlton. But yeah, no, with this game, it's a 12:30 kickoff away at the Valley. What more better than to win away at the Valley and get bragging rights over Charlton fans? I mean, it's unbelievable. To be fair, I think Charlton. I was looking at Charlton this year. I think Charlton they've signed well, to be fair, this year. But I think with the squad that we have, if we get the injuries back, I think we can have one. We can have one over them, 100%.
All right, Bill. Well, we'll look forward to. I'll certainly be making sure that's the one I watch of the 12:30 kickoffs when we return after this very annoying international break. Hopefully, we can get an England side that's enjoyable to watch again. Although I'm not gonna hold my breath. Right, before we let you go, then this week, yeah, we've done the home kit. We did the away kit last week with you, Callum. Let's finish off this trilogy then of chat. Charlie, you going to be buying this one?
To be fair, when it was first released and we saw the red and black tees and stuff like that, I was actually really excited for it because I've quite liked the red and black kits of old. But now I've actually seen the kit in person, it doesn't actually. I don't think it's actually that great. I think the grey bit on it ain't the best. The best part of that kit for me is the Roaring Lion. I really like that badge. I think that's better than our current badge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like the idea and I like the red and black, but I don't think it was pulled off brilliantly. For most, I won't be buying it this year.
Yeah, I mean, I call it not the Millwall oily. That's mainly not because of the colours, but because of the diagonal lines, the patterns. I don't know. Millwall do patterns. I don't know. Callum, what's your thoughts?
Do you know what, boys? I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I actually really like it. I think it's probably the best kit that we have out of the three. And I bought it on Saturday. Funny enough, went to the game early, bought the kit at the ground, and yeah, I've got it right in my wardrobe already. So yeah, right. I love it. I think especially like Charlie said, the Roaring Lion. It's just it's retro fitted. It's lovely. I love the kit.
That's what third kits are, aren't they? A bit of retro, a bit of experimentation. So yeah, we can't knock it too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it can't be as bad as the one I saw at Coventry. I did see a freshly printed one with Tanganga on the back, so it could be better.
Right, Callum, we need to see you in that shirt then in 2 weeks' time when we come back on here. Please,
absolutely.
We'll review Charlton. Absolutely, let's see that. And of course, we'll review all the ins and all the outs of the transfer window in 2 weeks' time as well. Do join us for that. Thank you very much, of course, for watching. Of course, before you press off the button, press that subscribe button before you disappear as well. We want to try and get us up to 400 if we can as soon as possible. That'd be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Carly and Callum. We'll see you after the international break. Good luck against Charlton.